A Dutch baby. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's basically like a giant oven-baked eggy pancake. They're super tasty and really easy to make, but they look rather impressive. They're not actually Dutch. They were dubbed that name somewhere in America. They kind of are similar to a Yorkshire pudding, but they're extremely easy to make, super tasty, and you likely have all of the ingredients in your house right now, so let's jump into it. Before you can get going on anything, you gotta preheat the oven to 425 and throw a cast iron skillet into the oven to start preheating. While that's preheating, and this is totally optional, but I'm gonna make some macerated berries to top off our baby. Starting with some strawberries, we're gonna just take the strawberry, cut off the little butt, put it on that flat surface, and cut maybe 4 or 5 slices per berry, unless they're huge and you can cut more. Slice up as many strawberries as you feel like. I think I did about half a pound, and then we're going to eat the last one as a little snack, throw them in a little container, and grab some blueberries. I used about a 1/4 pound of blueberries. You don't actually have to do anything with them other than throw them in the container with the strawberries and then cover everything with about 2 tablespoons of sugar. You can always use more or less sugar if you want, but the point of this is to draw out some moisture, soften them up a little bit, enhance their flavor, and give them an overall better texture for our Dutch baby. After a little shake, we're gonna leave these on the counter until we're ready to plate it. Now we can move on to our baby batter, for which we'll need eggs, milk, sugar, flour, butter, lemon zest, salt, and vanilla extract. You could certainly mix this by hand, but I just like to use a blender because it's so easy. You could always use a hand blender, but I'll use this big one. And just straight into the blender goes 3 large eggs, half a cup or 120 grams of whole milk, half a cup or 60 grams of all-purpose flour, 1 big old tablespoon of sugar, optionally a little cap's worth of vanilla extract, a nice little pinch of salt, and optionally but highly recommended, the zest of 1 lemon. Side note, yet another reason why I love using a scale is I didn't have to get any measuring cups dirty. 5-second speech over, we're gonna throw this on the blender and start a blending. According to the video, I blended mine for about 37 seconds at a medium speed just to get those eggs nice and frothy and start whipping some air into them. And now that all that's blended, that's it. By now your oven and pan should both be very hot, so go grab that hot pan from the oven, make sure you're being safe, and throw in 4 tablespoons of butter. The butter should instantly start melting, and you're just gonna swirl that around until it's totally melted. If you didn't feel like waiting for the pan to get super hot in the oven, you could always get this started on the stovetop, and when all that butter is melted, you're gonna pour the batter straight into the middle of the pan and throw the pan straight into the 425-degree oven for 20 minutes. And just like magic, that batter is gonna shoot up the sides of the pan and create our beautifully fluffy Dutch baby. And do not open up the oven door while it's baking because it will hinder the rise. After 20 minutes of patiently waiting, we take our little bebe out of the oven, and we have to work quickly here because, as you can see, it likes to deflate. For just your really classic preparation of the Dutch baby, you're just gonna cover this in powdered sugar. There's not a ton of sugar in the batter, so don't be afraid to go a little bit nuts. Once powdered up, we're gonna cut off some lemon cheeks and squeeze those over the powdered sugar. And you could always stop there and that would be your classic Dutch baby, but we have those beautifully macerated berries, which now have a super flavorful berry syrup that they're hanging out in, and we're just gonna spoon those into the middle of our baby. Add as much or little as you want, but for reference, I added roughly this many berries. Maybe a touch more powdered sugar so she looks photogenic for the thumbnail. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and take a seat. I think I'm actually gonna move it over to a plate. There we go. Obviously, very easy. This does not take very much time. It looks extremely impressive, but you didn't have to work that hard for it. And you can top this off however you want, but this is just how I'm doing it right now. Cheers. Yep, just way too big of a bite. It's really good. Anyways, that's all I got. Give it a try. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know if you got any questions, and I'll see you in the next one.